Hey guys, welcome back. This is tutorial 4 and part 2. Okay guys, you're looking at the Ice Fire Ninja Warframe Xbox One, the Alpha Dogs clan. Clan leader guys, and welcome to tutorial 4 number part 2. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to learn how to effectively use and apply what you've been taught so far. So guys, we're looking at my Volt Prime, and I've got a lot of mods, as you can see right here, and they've all been pretty much upgraded, everything that I'm going to use anyway for this example, and for what I normally play with. So, guys, let's get right down to it, and I'm going to explain to you why I'm doing this as well. So, guys, with a Warframe, any Warframe, basically, for the most part, I know there are some that don't use shields, but shields are going to be very important in everyday gameplay. So right now, my redirection is my shield capacity mod. I've got rank 8 out of 10 on it. I do want to get it up the other two, but it is getting to be quite expensive and also requiring a lot of mods. So at 360% shield capacity, I'm going to go ahead and equip this. My base shield at rank 30 is 450, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead and equip this, and 360% shield capacity is not off the 450. It's based off the unranked shield amount. Okay, so if your base unranked shield amount is only 100 at unranked, even though it goes up as you rank up, if your base at unranked is 100, then 360% would give you another 360 on top of that 100. So you'd only get 460, okay? Okay, guys, so yeah, with that being said, that's where the numbers come from. So redirection is obvious. It's going to increase your shield capacity, which means it increases your survivability. So armored agility, higher sprint speed, and higher armor. Hell's yes, guys. I'm not living without that one. So let's go ahead and put that one up here. Now, guess what? I talked previously about armor. The higher armor you have, the better survivability rate, less damage you take. So yeah, I'm going to put this on here as well. I really want that on here. And you notice they're all green, so I'm putting them in slots that are matching polarities. So guys, I talked about flow, and here it is. Here's my baby girl. Flow, 150% power max. So my base power being 300, or sorry, power being at 300 for rank 30, whatever it was at rank unranked, it is going in here to give me 300 more power to give me a max of 600. Now, what do all these mean to you? Look in the left hand side as you're watching this video, and you're gonna see the numbers change. For example, armored agility, 15% sprint speed. If you look over on the left, you're gonna see 1.0 to 1.15. Redirection is gonna go from shield 450 to 990. Okay, steel fiber and armored agility work together to give me extra. And all these percentage increases are based off the unranked numbers. So if you're really worried about it, go ahead and look at your unranked numbers before you rank up your item, your weapon, Kubro, or Warframes, okay? So with that being said, flow is going to give me a lot more power. So understanding what that means, instead of being able to cast Overload or my Shockwave 4 times, now I can cast it 8 times, for example, without picking up any other energy. Okay, so that's basically exactly it. I get to cast more or use more powered abilities when I'm full and not have to worry about getting as much. So there you go. Streamline, 30% power efficiency. I already talked about this. Higher power efficiency means less cost to be able to use. Granted, that's a definite one here. So for my Warframe, this is pretty obvious and pretty simple and straightforward. Stretch, guys, like I said before, the higher percentage for your power range, the further it's going to go out and do damage, or devastation in my case. So gonna go ahead and put stretch on there. Now, what else? Vitality. This is not ranked up as much, but it's gonna give me extra health. Now look over there on the left side where my health says 300, right? Now it's gonna be 580. So health is obvious, especially in nightmare missions and alerts. You're not going to be able to have any shield. So having a vitality maxed out is going to be very, very, very important for you. Now, if I'm doing a hacking mission, Intruder is going to be awesome. Retribution is one of my favorites. 60% chance to do electrical damage when shield struck by melee. So yeah, guys, that's awesome mod for me right there. So guys, with that being said, that's what I use, okay? And you understand why I use these now, and you understand how to get the most out of your Warframe. So guys, over here I've got a couple auras. I got 6 of them actually. Personally, I like Steel Charge, Shield Disruption, then you've got Physique, then you got Sniper Scavenger, Pistol Scavenger, and Rejuvenation. Now guys, bear in mind and keep this in mind. An aura affects everybody in your squad. So if I'm teaming with somebody like clanmates and I run Steel Charge, ask them. Make sure that they're not all running the same thing. Auras do stack, but I do not believe that they stack when they are identical. So I could be wrong on that. But normally I run Steel Charge to increase melee damage. I know for a fact another clanmate has Physique, and then usually we have somebody running Rejuvenation, or depending on the mission, Shield Disruption. So I'm going to go ahead and click Steel Charge and put her up here. Now, Steel Charge, obviously, polarities match. I'm going to get double the modding capacity. So now instead of 6, I get 18 more to make 24. Over here, I have Exilus mods. Oh, my bad, sorry. So over here, I can actually install some Exilus mods. So what do I want to do? I mean, Thief's Wit is good. Retribution is good. But I've already got that on here, don't I? Yeah, I was hoping to let me put a second one on. Oh, well. So, Enemy Sense. This is actually a great mod because now I can actually tell where all the enemies are if I upgrade this. But Intruder's good if I'm doing a hacking or spy mission. It really is. 6 extra seconds to hacking. Fully upgraded, or unranked is 1 second. I don't really like unranked all that much. Now, personally, Rush for sprint speed, I can make my sprint speed go even higher. And this is what I'm going to do. Personally, I haven't used it yet. I just got it. So that's going to be awesome. So, okay, guys. So that's how you upgrade and mod your Warframe. You design it how you want. But ones I would not go without are Flow, Steel Fiber, Redirection, and Streamline, and Vitality. I would recommend you use Stretch. Retribution, if you have, it's actually kind of a nice mod. And Armored Agility. But you've seen how I've done it. You do it how you want. And this is where Warframe comes in. So guys, that is upgrading my Warframe. Figure it out, pay attention to the numbers, and use what I've been teaching you effectively to get the best out of whatever Warframe you choose to use. Let's go down and look at my Ignis here, guys. This is my flamethrower. This guy's been fused 7 times, and I'm freaking loving him. My Ignis, my flamethrower, is my beast mode, and I might just repolarize it just to be able to play with it and re-rank it up some more. So guys, let's go ahead and look at these numbers, and we're going to see accuracy is always dead on at 100%. Critical chance, 5%. Critical multiplier. Now that we're getting into weapons, guys, let me go ahead and take a minute to explain, okay? So, critical multiplier is a set number for your damage. So let's say that a gun did the exact same number of damage to a mob every single time, okay? let's say that it did 10 points of damage to that enemy. Now, you get a critical hit. And in Black Ops, they call them a crit. But you get a crit. Now, instead of in Black Ops, where it might just be a headshot and be a one shot, one hit kill, in this game, it's about a multiplier amount 2.0x. That means anytime you get a crit, the damage is going to double 2 times whatever your base damage is, okay? So my critical chance is 5%. So that means out of every 100 bullets, on average, 5 bullets are going to be a critical hit. And those 5 bullets are going to do double, 2 times the base damage. Does that make sense to everybody? So, good. Okay. So, with that being said and that being understood, let's go ahead and continue, and I'll get more into that here in a minute. Fire rate is 10 rounds, I'm assuming, per second with that number. Magazine, 150. Now, it does have a decently fast reload. I've never really had a problem with it. Noise, it says it's alarming, but I've really never had it alarm anybody, and I've never used any of the silencing mods. So I'm not quite sure why they're putting that as alarming. Now, let's go ahead and get into status per second, okay? Status. You've got cold, you've got toxin, you've got heat, you've got electricity. Those are your base damages. Now, with those base damages in mind, guys, what exactly do those damage types mean to you? Okay? So, those damage types basically mean that your weapon is going to be able to do different types of damage, different elementals, basically. Now, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about what these can do. And I'm actually looking up the information so I don't tell you wrong, okay? So, basically, let's go ahead and look at physical damage so I can tell you this real quick, okay? So, with physical damage types, you're going to have impact, puncture, and slash. Now, let's go ahead and go over here to the Boltor, for example. And we're going to go ahead and look at this. So, Boltor's got 2.5 impact, 2.5 slash, and 20 puncture. So, let's go ahead and show you this. And this information is also going to be on the website as well, guys. Let's go ahead and look at what each one of them does. I'm actually loading it up here on my phone, and my internet connection sucks. So, impact damage is very effective in certain situations. It can drain corpus shields, but it does very, very little to actual physical bodily damage, being their red bar, being their health bar. For infested, it does normal damage. But the status effect, and this is where you're looking at status chance and status per second. Status per second is a little bit different on the flamethrower, but status chance on the Boltor, for example, for impact, is going to be knockback, causing the target to briefly stagger. So 1 out of 10 could actually cause a knockback. And this means they're going to kind of be stunned or dazed for a second, and you're going to be able to maybe get another bullet in, maybe kill them, and actually save your life. So that's what impact does. Now, impact has that stagger effect. So what about slash, guys? What does slash do? Okay, so let's go ahead and look up slash. So slash damage is very effective against all forms of flesh, meaning an actual body. But against armor, like Grineer, the heavy Grineer, slash damage is very weak. Kind of like taking a butter knife to a titanium wall. Fair enough. Slash's damage effect is actually bleed. It's a damage over time. It does 35% of your weapon or power's base damage per tick, 7 ticks in 6 seconds. So over 6 seconds, it's going to do 30 times 7 is 210, 5 times 7, 35. So it's going to do about 245% of your weapon damage in 6 seconds. Okay, now basically this does do finishing damage, which means it bypasses their shields. So when you're hitting somebody with slash damage, it's going to go directly for their health bar, not their shield bar. Okay, guys. Instances of bleed can be stacked onto a mob, so you could actually have 10 or 12 if you're lucky, running on an enemy at the same time. And bear in mind that could be a very good thing. So don't feel negative about that. That's actually a very very good thing in my opinion. Now let's go ahead and look at puncture damage. Puncture damage is one of the 3 primary physical damage types as well. Now, it is ideal against Grineer because it can actually puncture their armor. But when you're looking at shielding mobs like Corpus, it's going to do very little damage. Puncture actually has a status effect called Weakened. Weakened actually causes the enemy to inflict about 1/3 less damage over 6 seconds. So, frankly, when they've got a yellow aura or a yellow glow to them, that means they've been weakened. Guess what? Weaken them all you can, because that could come in very handy for a squad, especially a clan. So, weakening. That's what they do. Now, of course, it cannot be stacked. Otherwise, they do literally no damage. But guys, this is a very, very good status effect for you guys to have. So, I didn't actually go over the what glow colors the other damage types would be. So let's go ahead back to that, and I'll tell you before we move on. So, let me look here. So yeah, with slash damage, it looks like the status would be bleed, right? The DOT. So I'm assuming. Okay, so for bleed, they'll actually have small bursts of blood come out every fraction of a second where they were hit. So if you see like little blood popping out of their body somewhere, you know they're on bleed. So that's going to be that. Now when we're looking at impact, okay, guys. Let me go ahead and get into that. Impact damage, I don't really think you're going to see it. You're just going to know that they're not. Okay, so the corpse will be ragdolled, kind of like a body just kind of shaking, or just like laying limp for a second. That's how you're going to know that they've actually been impacted with knockback. Hey, I made it funny. So, okay, guys, this is a damage 2.0. You can look it up on the Wikipedia, but it's also going to be on the website. But now we're going to get into the elemental damage. And elemental damage, you're going to be looking at, for example, I'm just going to equip these for sake. So I'm going to go ahead and equip these, and I'm going to show you exactly what they have to do. So basically, yeah, I'm going to do that one at a time. So cold damage, guys. Let's go ahead and look at what cold damage would do. So cold damage, let me go ahead and look at this real quick. Yeah, okay. So, I gotta click on it now, don't I? So, okay. So cold damage will actually basically annihilate standard shields worn by Corpus and alloy armor worn by the high-level Grineer. But when you look at Infested, cold damage actually is very, very limited to what it can do. Now, if you're going to change your weapon type or add to your weapon cold damage, the great thing about cold damage is its status effect is freeze. Freeze reduces their target's movement speed and attack rate, by 50%. So that means if I'm attacking you melee strike per second, and I'm frozen. Now that same melee strike is going to take 2 seconds. Okay, so cold damage can be very, very good. Um, Basically, it will work for 6 seconds. So when you hit them, it's going to be 6 seconds of that effect. Now, okay, so with cold damage, that's what you get. Heat damage, they're going to burn. And if they burn, I could pretty much take a guess what heat damage is actually going to do. But let's make sure that I'm going to tell you right. Heat damage is ignite for the status effect, which causes the affected to receive 50% of whatever weapon attacked it for damage over its a DOT for 7 ticks and 6 seconds. So that's actually going to be even more damage doing heat alone. Those are two of the elementals. Then let's go ahead and go look for the third one, which is going to be electricity. Electricity is going to be shock damage, and it's going to do chain lightning. It's going to do an additional 50% of your weapon or power's damage to surrounding enemies within 5 meters. Guess what? That's awesome. Electricity damage will hit chain link to all the mobs around it. So if you're in a big group of mobs, that's going to be amazing to deal with. Now, let's go ahead and do elemental damage, and we're going to do the last one, and that's going to be toxin. Guys, toxin damage. You're looking poison, which again does half your weapon or power's damage over 8 seconds. So, toxin's going to be a little bit slower compared to heat ignite. However, it's going to do about the same effect. So these are what the independent damages do. Whether you do infected clip, whether you do stormbringer, okay, hellfire, that's what these are going to do. Okay, so with that being said, serration, by the way, is going to affect all of the mobs there, or all, no, not mobs, all of the damage types. Split chambers also going to do even more damage on all the damage types. But apparently, split chamber also affects the status chance, even though it doesn't really say it, which is kind of cool. But so with that being said, that's pretty good right there. But I'm not going to get into that right now. Combined damage types, or let's say I'm going to do cryo and infected. That's going to turn you into viral damage. And these are where you get the secondary damage types. Okay? So, with this being said, you're looking at viral damage is great. It reduces the maximum health on a mob that you're attacking, which is fantastic. And to get viral damage, you mix cold and toxin. What about radiation damage, guys? We're looking heat and electricity this time, the other two. So let's go ahead and look at this. Radiation damage is going to reduce the accuracy and attacks of any closest target. Okay, guys? So this is how you get these secondary damage types, otherwise known as combined damage type elemental. Magnetic damage, guys, what about this? Reduces magnetic shields and drains energy. This is awesome because those guys, those corpus, I want to say the ones that are kind of like Ember that can throw the walls of fire out at you, Corpus or Grenier, whatever they are. Guess what? If they've got no energy, they can't cast it. How do you get magnetic, guys? You get it by this. Cold and electricity gives you magnetic damage, guys. And that's what it's all about. So, guys, what about gas damage? Gas creates an AoE, area of effect poison, in the area where it procs, or status. Heat and toxin, guys. So we're going to put toxin out there, we're going to put heat out there, and we're going to get some gas damage. Okay, guys, how about corrosive? It reduces armor to a mob permanently. How about electricity and toxin? Is how we're going to get this one. That's going to be corrosive, guys. It's going to eat right through their armor. Now, this is my favorite one to use, guys. This is my favorite one. What about some hot and cold? Hot and cold is going to give you blast damage. Blast damage actually does not do any damage, but when it procs, it actually knocks the enemies on their ass. When you knock the enemies down, it takes them a couple seconds to get back up. What does that mean for you? That means you've got more opportunity to kill. So guys, this is secondary damage types. Now, what I normally run with, it could vary, but for my Ignis, I normally run with Blast, but guess what? I'm going to go ahead and go viral. I'm going to do cold and toxin, okay? So cold and toxin, that's viral. Guys, I've only shown you how to get one secondary damage type on here. What if I happen to put another one on like shot? Oh, now I'm getting viral, but I'm also getting electricity. Awesome! Okay, so before I go anymore, I'm going to go ahead and put Serration on here. And you see what that did? Oh, wait a minute. What did that do? So, see how my damage looks? 2.5, 22.5. 2.5, 20, and 45, right? But I'm going to put Serration on there, and that's going to give me, let me show you again, 135% extra damage. That's going to affect all of my damage types. So 2.5 to 5.8. 0 electricity to 52. Okay. 20 puncture to 46.4. And viral 104.4 from 0. So guys, I just took my weapon up from 2.5 and 20 to 5.8, 52.2, 5.8, 46.4, and 104.4 with a 10% status chance. You're seeing these numbers on the left. Green is good. So what about split chamber? I'm going to add this on. Oh, God. So now I went from 10% status chance to 18.1. Holy crap. So that means almost 1 in 5 shots are going to have electricity damage and viral damage, along with a higher puncture, slash, and impact. That's awesome, guys. But I've got one secondary damage, right? Viral, which is cold and toxin. And then I've got electricity. What if I don't want electricity? What if I want to put another damage type up there? I could, but do I want to? I'll just go ahead and put it on here. I don't have enough, so let me go ahead and remove split chamber for us. And it'll give me more room to do this. So go ahead and put this on here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did you see that? 52 electricity just went up to 104.4. Wow, okay. So that's going to give me an extra 50 damage, right? That's beautiful, guys. That's freaking beautiful. So now I've got viral and radiation. But what if I don't want radiation? What if I want, let's say I want gas, okay? So gas is going to be heat and toxin. Can it be done? Anybody? Can it be done? Viral and radiation? Blast and corrosive? Viral and radiation? How about gas and magnetic? I don't like gas and magnetic. Blast and corrosive. Gas and magnetic would be what I'd have to do. So gas and magnetic. And basically it's all about how you put these in the right slots, okay guys? So think about it and do what you're going to do, because you may not be able to do it, the way you want, but if you move the mods around, the way they're equipped, the way they're put in your mod slots are going to affect that damage type. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with gas and magnetic, right? Now, I've got 21 out of 60 slots left. So I can either put split chamber or serration. Let's see what serration does. It's going to take my damage up almost by double, another 90%. Or I could put split chamber on, and that's going to increase my status chance and my impact slash gas, magnetic, and puncture. Just not quite by the same amount. So I've got all my mods, maxed out, and I've still got 3 slots here I could equip all this good stuff on. But what am I going to do? I can't really do anything, right? Guess what, guys? I've taught you this. Go into polarization, hit the right thumb pad down, click it, and it's going to bring up the actions menu. With a Forma, guys, you can buy it for 20 platinum, or like I helped my clan get last night, we got a Forma blueprint from a tower mission. That tower mission, guys, allows you, if you get a Forma blueprint, you can build a Forma, or you can buy one. That Forma allows you to polarize a slot. We talked about that earlier the other day, and that's exactly how you're going to get that green or the red, depending what polarity you put on it. Red bad, green good. So yeah, if I were to keep using the Voltor, I'd have to keep playing it and polarizing it and building it up this way. But I'm not going to use a Voltor. I'm going to use my my Ignis. So with my Ignis, let's go ahead and show you how I'm going to actually upgrade this. And this is what I do with my flamethrower, and this is why almost any mob can't stand a chance with me. Obviously, I'm going to freaking put split chamber on there. It does have a high cost requirement. So what am I going to do with that? I'm going to put it over here. And that's going to give me a 51.3. So, okay. Split chamber, and then I've also got serration. That's mandatory right there. Let's go ahead and put that on. Now, with only those 2 mods, 135% extra damage and 90% multi-shot. So guess what, guys? I just went from 27 damage with 2 mods to 120.5. So with that, guys, being said, what exactly do I want to use on my Ignis? The question's pretty simple. It depends what you're gonna fight. So I've been fighting Grineer and Corpus a lot lately. So what am I gonna do with that? I'm probably gonna end up going. I know I'm gonna go cold and toxin. Okay. So I know I'm gonna do that. That's going to give me viral. That's going to help reduce their maximum health. But I'm not really going to get to do what I want. And the shield guys are the worst ones to deal with. But, shield, but not... The armor ones are actually, not shield. So I want electricity and toxin. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put electricity down here and toxin. Oh my god. So... I can't equip stuff here really effectively because of how they're going to affect my modding capabilities. That's a good point. That ran into accidentally. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. I'm going to go over and swap polarity. And I'm going to put just like that and apply. So they're swapped. But now my problem is I uninstalled all my mods. So I'm going to go ahead and put Split chamber back on, and serration. Okay, so now I do want corrosive for reduces armor. So I'm gonna go ahead and do electricity and toxin. Okay, so electricity and toxin. There we go. And now I'm gonna want to do like I would like the AOE poison effect. So let's go ahead. That's gonna be gas. That's gonna be heat and toxin. So can I do it? I can do nope. I can do viral and radiation. Okay. Or blast and corrosive. Heat and magnetic. Wait, no, not heat. Gas and magnetic. So if I got gas and magnetic, magnetic would be good, but I really want viral. But guess what, guys? I ain't going to be able to do it like this. Blast and corrosive is the best I could get. You know what? I'll do blast and corrosive. So that'll be good for now. So, but guys, also with that being said, hammer shot's a really good mod. Rifle ammo mutation is something I really need. Vital sense is going to be really good. But what do I do if I want corrosive? So, yeah. So what am I going to do? I need to move that over here. And again, it's going to unrank. You can do this as many times, not unrank, it's going to unequip. You can do this as many times as you want, guys. It's not going to affect you in a bad way. It's just a little disturbing because it does de-equip all your mods. So, but guys, I'm going to go ahead and go back to, I'm going to do armor, I'm going to do corrosive, which is electricity and toxin. Okay, so, electricity and toxin. And I'm going to go ahead and do, let's go ahead and do I want the slow attack or do I want the damage over time? I'm going to go ahead and do the damage over time here. Guess what, guys? I still can't do it because, yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it that way. So, okay. So, hammer shot's going to give me an extra critical damage and 40% status change. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So now you're going to look at my status chance being 35% instead of 25%. This is increasing my status chance. That's freaking awesome. But it's also increasing my critical damage multiplier. So 2.0x, if you look on the left, to 3.2. So I've only got a 5% crit chance, right? But the more critical multiplier I have, every time I do crit, I'm going to do more damage. But if I'm not critting very much, is that going to be a worthwhile mod? I would probably say not really, right? So, what if I were to do a mod that increased my critical hit chance? Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, here we go. Now I've got a 3.2 multiplier, and instead of 5% critical chance, 12.5%. So instead of 1 in 20, I'm now 1 in 8 of a critical chance. And that is exactly how you make mods work together. If you're going to do a higher critical damage multiplier, try to put a critical chance mod in as well. That way, more crit, more damage when you crit. Bada boom, bada bing, right? With that being said, guys, I could do Wildfire, and this would be a really, really good mod for me. But I do like having rifle ammo mutation on. because now I've never got to worry. I've never got to worry about being able to find ammo or running out of ammo. This mod fully upgraded. The Ignis is considered a rifle. I never have to worry about it, guys. So, by far, by all means, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. I'm going to use Hellfire for a damage over time. I'm going to use Stormbringer. I'm not going to go secondary damage types. You know, I probably should, guys, because it is going to reduce my damage quite a bit. But, you know, if I do that and I go ahead and put, where's that one that I want? Continuous Misery. If I go ahead and put this on over this, okay, now that should be status duration, but it won't affect this weapon though. So that's the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and do point strike 12.5%, critical multiplier 3.2. Guys, you can customize your weapons any frickin' flippin' way you want. But what I'm going to do here is, you know, I'm not too worried about my critical chance. Status chance would always be good. But, you know, I'm going to go ahead and do what I'm thinking in the first place. I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see. Oh, status duration. I'm sorry, not status chance. So yeah, instead of 6 seconds, it's going to be 9 seconds when it hits. Or instead of 8 seconds, it's going to be like 13. So guys, you can do whatever you want on this. If I want more ammo maximum, I can equip this. If I want more magazine capacity, I can equip this. Instead of 150, I've got 210. But by the way, guys, you can do whatever the hell you want with this. Just make it count, make it good, and have fun with it. You know what I mean? So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And I'm going to go ahead and put a secondary damage on here as well. I've got Hellfire, Cryo, and Stormbringer, which means I've got Electricity and Blast. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on there. That way I'm doing Electricity so my damage arcs to other mobs in the area. And Blast damage, but I don't want Blast. Magnetic looks like it'll be fun. But I don't want magnetic either, so what do I do? What do I do? Let me take Serration off real quick. Come on. Okay. Go ahead and take that off real quick. So, I want radiation damage. And, no, I don't want radiation either. So, hold on. What do I want? Stormbringer's got to go off, right? So, let's go ahead and put... First off, let's go ahead and get rid of these altogether again so I can do this the right way, right? So, Serration. I'm not going to do that just yet. So, I'm going to do Cryo. And I'm going to do... Hellfire would be Blast. I don't want necessarily Blast. So, let's look at Infected. That's going to be Viral, guys. That's going to be reduces maximum health. And then I'm going to do Stormbringer. There we go. So I've got Viral and Radiation. Wait, but what? How did I get 2 secondary damage types with 3 mods? 3 elemental mods. Okay. So I'll take it, and then Hellfire. I put that on here. Interesting. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's got heat by default. That's right. So I have to do it this way. Okay. Viral and radiation. Okay. So if I wanted to do this, I would have to do... There we go. Hellfire and Infected Clip would be gas. I forgot. If your weapon's got a base elemental, then you're looking at something a little bit different to work with, okay? So now I'm going to put Stormbringer on here as soon as I find it. What I do with it. So yeah, let's find my Stormbringer. There we go. So now I'm going to put Stormbringer up here as well. And up. Really? So there we go. Now I've got electricity. Right there. So like as you can see, guys, you can mess around and mess around and mess around with this. And you can design it however you want. But this is just going to show you that the way you use mods, the way you equip them, can actually make you a big difference. So I'm going to go ahead and put, now that I got heat, I'm going to put heat up here. And I'm going to put cryo. That's blast. And I'm going to do infected clip. There we go. So now I've got my electricity damage to my damage arcs. That's exactly what I want. So I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to go ahead and put, no, I'm not going to do cryo. I'm going to do split chamber here as well. And then I'm going to put hammer shot. I'm going to put it up here. And then I'm going to do I'm going to do wildfire. And I'm going to do, actually, no, I'm not going to do wildfire because I need that. I'm going to do rifle ammo mutation. And then I'm going to do, let's see, what do I want to do? Point strike for crit chance. I did have hammer shot because that would actually increase my status chance. But do I want critical strike chance? I guess would be good, right? But then see, that's how this is going to do. So what I've done is I've taken my heat damage away and I've turned it into gas with heat and toxin. And then I went ahead and put my turned it into gas damage. And then I went electricity straight up for 108. And then, but with that being said, I've also taken my status chance up to 35% from 25%. My critical multiplier went up, and so did my critical chance. So this looks like it's actually going to be a pretty good little mod, and I like that. Now I could put Sinister Reach up, which would make it even better. If I did Sinister Reach, okay, I could honestly put it, oh, that's nice. So 60% crit damage, and okay, yeah. So I could do that, guys, or I could actually put wildfire up here, which would actually probably be what I'd want to do. Wildfire would actually give me more magazine capacity and extra heat damage. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. And there you guys have it. This is how you mod. This is how you make mods work together. Know what your numbers are. Know what your mods do. Make sure you look at the whites, the greens, the reds. All of those color coding are important. On the left, even more so. If you have all reds, back out. Go back into it like I did. It means you've made changes that haven't been confirmed yet. So once you get them all white, start messing around with your mods. Work with them. Make them work together. So guys, with that being said, I need a drink. This is the Ice Fire Ninja Xbox One Warframe Clan Alpha Dogs. Thank you guys for watching. I know this video had a lot of rambling in it, ranting and raving, but you know what? There's so much you can do with this game. It just cannot be done and put into 6 or 7 videos. So guys, again, thank you for watching. This is the Icefire Ninja signing off for this video. Make sure you look out for my next one. Again, guys, thank you. Have a great day and have fun playing Warframe.